Hey, what's up, y'all, and welcome to the 81st edition of the Take One podcast. I am your host, August C. Jones, and I know this is really late. I usually try to put out a podcast between Monday and Wednesdays, sometimes at the latest like Thursday, and it's Sunday, so I wanted to get this out before the week is over. So, with that in mind, I got a few things to get into, and basically it was just stuff that I, just few things I wanted to talk about on this podcast, which is MoviePass again, as well as we got some, actually just majority of the other news things I need to get into are all revolving around DC and Marvel, blah blah, and then we're going to get into the box office segment. So without further ado, let's jump right into it and just talk about MoviePass. Now, basically, I put out like a few podcasts ago. I forgot which number, but it was just venting my frustration out with, MoviePass. And since I think it was 79. Yeah, episode 79 was called My Current Frustration with MoviePass. And so in that, I basically was just venting out my frustration. Now, I'm one like these people that go on YouTube or social media and just be like, oh, MoviePass sucks. I'm quitting them, this and that. If you listen to it, which if you haven't, go ahead and check it out because it was a really good episode. But I'm just basically just frustrated with the stuff that they're doing. It's kind of like a, family member. You don't want to just do nothing with, you just don't want to do away with them. You still love them, but they keep fucking up. That's basically what my current frustration is with MoviePass, was that they, I love what they brought to us. As a movie fan, I love that they gave me the option to be able to see as many movies as I wanted to see for $10 a month. Like, that's awesome. And then certain stuff that they changed up along the way, okay, cool. But the most recent changes were the things that just kind of got to me. So I'm not going to rehash everything else. If you want to know my current frustration, everything that I had to say, go check out episode 79. But this one is talking about the current changes with MoviePass. Now, I was going to put out another podcast before this one where I was going to be talking about, what I think MoviePass should do. Now, I don't own like businesses. I'm not a person that has like a millions of dollar, type business that bring in, millions of dollars. So this is all just in my mind, what I think would work. It may not, it may work, but my whole thing was that I was going to put in the podcast that I think MoviePass, they should ultimately become a subscription service for discount ticketing. And basically just, it'd be kind of like Adam or Fandango, but instead of giving out, a whole bunch of free movies per month, give a discount to each ticket that a person buy. And maybe give each month, like a person get like one free movie, per month or something like that, or 2 free movies per month or something like that. Or like, say when you first sign up, you get 3 free movies or something like that, whatever. But a movie a month, a free movie a month, and each ticket is, discounted, various prices depending on, the first weekend to the second weekend, or how big or small the movie is. I say something like that. You can play around with it. No surcharges. But just ultimately make it a discount service, and then have it to where after like 4 movies, you can have the 5th movie free. And then let's say you can rack up those free movies and have them roll over to the next one. And maybe they inspire, like each from the time that you get them, they expire like 6 months after that. So you have up to 6 months to use their free movie ticket. And you can use it on maybe you yourself and buying multiple tickets or something like that. But basically have it like that. Just a discount service with benefits. And maybe, at that point, they could combine efforts with other movie chains. Maybe Regal or something like that. And they can offer stuff with them. That way they can work with other movie chains and make them bigger. And, they can bring in more money and all that stuff. So this is just what was going through my mind of what MoviePass should eventually do. And then you probably could keep it at $10 a month or maybe $15 a month or something like that. I mean, people would want to, if you don't give them the option to have free movies and you give them a discount service that are good discounts, you're still getting a good great deal, on movie tickets. So I thought, like, they should do something like that. Now let's get into the new MoviePass deal, which is basically taking that premise, which I wish I would have put out the podcast before they did this, but it literally went off that premise. But so they changed it starting August 15th of this month, that basically once your service, goes over. So if basically your stuff restarted at the beginning of this month or before August 15th, your next billing cycle is going to, have this new service. But you get the chance to basically, agree to it, opt out or whatever. But the new service is basically about, you get to have 3 free movies a month. Now, compared to the deal that they had before, where you get to see a movie a day, it's not as glorious as that. But if you want to see MoviePass succeed, why not? Why the hell not? 3 movies a month, you're still getting a great deal. And then every additional ticket is basically up to $5 off. And I guess it's depending on where you're at or whatever, but it's up to a $5 discount off for the movie purchase. So, I mean, they're doing away with surcharges as well. So I guess this is the next big thing. And that's part of what I was thinking when I was, with the whole discount service. I'm like, this will probably be like the best thing for them to do. Because not only would it put money in their pocket, but we also get a benefit, not only getting the discount, but we get 3 free movies a month. Now, I don't think they'll roll over. They didn't say anything about that. I'm sure, like, if you have the MoviePass app and, just the service, you got the email or whatnot. So, basically, that's what it is. Surcharges, like I said, they're doing away with that. Ticket verifications, they're doing away with that. Peak pricing, I'm glad that they're doing away with that. I know some people, I watched this guy's YouTube, Kevin T. Rodriguez. Good guy, go check out his channel. He talks about MoviePass a lot. But and he talks about some other stuff, and he said that, like, he's against that. He think that they should have brought surcharge, or they should have kept surcharges as far as this service goes. And I think that they should do away with it. I mean, it's just, that goes along with my current frustration. Like, surcharges, I get, it's putting money in your pocket, but it's also turning a lot of people away. And, like, a lot of people will probably try to avoid that by seeing tickets at other showings. So it's literally still kind of taking money out your pocket. But in any case, I'm glad that it did away with surcharges, as well as, I mean, the ticket verifications, where basically when you buy a ticket, you'll have to take a picture of your ticket stub and submit it to MoviePass. So it's to do away with people, taking photos of, going to go see a movie, or, basically just using it to, what am I trying to say? Okay, so people just scamming them, using it for concessions, or, punching in to go see one type of screening, let's say Mission Impossible, but actually paying for a IMAX screening, but paying the difference out of pocket. So for a $15 ticket, they probably might have to only pay like $2 or $3 for that ticket. So it's basically like that, to do away with scammers like that. And certain people just do it. They'll go to a movie, theater, and they'll, punch in what movie they're going to see. Money is uploaded to there, and they'll go away from the theater and use it on something else. Maybe they go buy them something to eat at, like, BBW, something like that. And it's like, what is it, Buffalo? I said BBW, Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's just say it like that. But it's just to do away with people using the service, or, I'll say just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just basically just using the service to their benefit that's not benefiting, or that's not what it's supposed to be used for. But I didn't have a problem with it because of the simple fact that I take pictures of my movie tickets all the time. I go to the movies all the time, and people know that every time I go to the show, I take a movie and I upload it onto social media. So it wasn't no problem. I'm going to take a picture of it anyway. And plus, it was a little step. You don't have to go out your way. Literally, they have the thing that pop up once you verify, once you go into your movie and you pay for it. They have the thing up there. All you gotta do is press the camera button, take a picture, bam, it's submitted. That's it. It wasn't anything. So that one, I mean, if they kept it, I wouldn't have minded. I don't think anybody else would have minded at all. But in any case, and doing away with that, as well as the whole you can't see big popular movies when they first come out, because if you guys had the service or if you've been hearing about it, we weren't, like, if it's not a partner theater, the theaters that have e-ticketing, you weren't able to see Mission Impossible. I think you still can't see it right now. Unless you go to a e-ticketing theater, which is one of their partner theaters, or you couldn't see Christopher Robin. I think Dangerous Mind or Darkest Minds. I couldn't see that. I don't know why, because just looking at the box office, it wasn't really a big movie. But I could see Meg being a part of that. But I don't even think Meg was like counted out. I don't know. But in any case, certain movies, if they really, really big on a certain amount of screens, you weren't able to see it because they wasn't going to, do that. And you had to wait a week or two after it in order to use the MoviePass card to, view the movie. So they're doing away with that. So you don't have to wait to see a big movie. But they did mention that there will be some exceptions. So maybe the big movies may have a blackout where you can't see it for a certain amount of time, maybe a week or so. Like, say, if they had this running with, like, Avengers Infinity War, that probably would be a big movie that we probably couldn't use for the MoviePass card. So that is one of the things that I do like they do. I mean, if you have some exceptions, especially if it's small, then cool, but whatever. And I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's really about it. So, and basically they just said that, like I stated before, that if your service began before the 15th, you have until the next billing cycle for this stuff to start kicking in if you accept the, changes for your plan. And those people who have, like, I believe they had like a 6-month plan, I'm not sure, but I know they had a yearly plan where you basically pay for the whole year in one lump sum once you sign up for that plan. I should have done that. I didn't. I should have, because I basically would still have like a movie a day until like September. I believe I did it last year. I don't know. I know I didn't do it in August. I think I did it in like September. I didn't get my MoviePass card until October. But if, like, say your yearly subscription ends in December, then basically you don't have to worry about all this until your billing cycle ends. If it lasts, if MoviePass is still here until that, or even after that. But yeah, if you have a yearly plan or, annual or, 6-month plan, if they have those or whatever, I'm not sure. But basically, if you have those type of plans, you don't have to worry about it until your cycle ends. So yeah, if it's not ending like today, you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, that's about it. And I really kind of like these changes, because if you didn't realize, well, if you wasn't paying attention or you just didn't know, about like few weeks back, they were going to implement basically upping it to $15 a month and still keeping everything with surcharges and stuff like that. And then blackouts on like the big major tadpole movies. Or I don't know if I'm saying that right. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Tadpole. I don't know. I'm going to look it up after this. But it's like they was going to go with that for a while. But then they came up with this solution. And now it seemed like it's going to be good. So hopefully this will put them on the right path until they figure everything out. And they've acknowledged that they've been doing, it's been shaky. That it hasn't been consistent. And we all been doing that. A lot of us been frustrated. At one point, I even questioned whether I'm going to stay with MoviePass. Is it even worth keeping? Should I just drop it, get Cinemia and AMC, and then at that point, yeah, I'll be paying like I'm basically $30 a month. But at the same time, I'm still gonna have a lot of the benefits that MoviePass doesn't offer. 3D and IMAX screenings and stuff like that. Even though I don't go to too many 3D or IMAX viewings, but if I feel like, okay, well, this is a big ass movie, it looks like it's gonna be good, I've been anticipating this. Like, so, let's put it like this, like Venom or Aquaman. If I want to see that in IMAX, damn it, I'll go see it in IMAX. You know, something like that. I don't do it too much, but if I had an option to see it and it's part of my plan, I ain't gotta pay the $13 to $15. Shit, I'm gonna go do it. But I thought it was a really good plan. Like I said, it's playing off of what I thought that they should do, the discounting thing, which they are putting it part of that, and at the same time giving you free movies per month. So in a sense, they are doing the exact same thing that I had thought about, which damn man, I should have went for it and just put out that. But at the same time, this is making me happy. I hope that, you know, the MoviePass thrives and they end up being in a better place. This seemed like one of those companies that may end up failing, but it opens the door for other services to end up doing something and do it better. That way, we as the customers get something out of it, as well as, you know, movie theaters and stuff like that. Because a lot of us, I mean, have been complaining that movie prices have been going up. You know, at one point I remember the theater up in Lansing, where I'm close to where I live at, the movie tickets used to be about like $8 something. Now it's almost $10. You know, so I've been noticing the ticket price going up. AMC is a little bit higher, but at the same time, this is a great deal. Still a great deal. I mean, before, even if they bumped it up to $15 with the surcharges, still a great deal. Still a great deal. It's just a lot of the inconsistencies and a lot of inconvenience and just what they put out the service to be. Now, it seems like they're trying to get all their eggs in a row, or, you know, their train back on track and everything along with it. But it seems like if they just come out and say that this is the service, $10 a month, 3 movies and this and that, that sounds a whole lot better. Three free movies plus discounts on any additional ticketing. That's awesome. That is freaking awesome. And they also basically put up in there that people like me, they don't want, you know, using their service. They are trying to weed out the people that go to a movie every single week, that see multiple movies every single week. They are trying to weed out the people like me, because I'm a person that's going to go to the movies as much as I can. If they didn't take away the whole, you can't see a movie, you know, more than once, I would have probably seen several movies twice over and over again. Infinity War, I've seen that 8 times in theaters. I probably would have seen that more times. Probably. So I guess you could say it's just like, you know, actually just like, oh, hold on. No, you can't do that. But it's just basically just weeding out people that go to the movies a lot. Which I can't fault them on it, because it's not like they don't like us, because we're the people that, you know, use their service a lot, that gives, you know, puts the money in their pockets. But at the same time, we are also the people that's draining them. So, I mean, I get why they're doing it. And I love that they went with this plan instead of bumping it up to $15 plus the surcharges. I'm so glad they did that. So glad, so happy. I'm definitely going to stay with MoviePass. And I still had to deal with the surcharges, because my bill, like, basically redid on this, at the beginning of this month. I think it was on the 3rd. So I have until the 3rd of September in order for my thing to switch over. So I'm going to try to use it as much as I can without the surcharges for the rest of this time that I have this current plan. But I love it. I really do love it. 3 movies a month. It's going to be a bummer. But, hey, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, as long as they can stay around for a little bit longer, or for the long run after this, shit. I mean, I'm just happy that they found something that works, that makes a person like me happy. Now, another thing that I have been having a problem with MoviePass is just simply, okay, so with the app, it's still acting up on me. I have an Android. Not saying that's a problem, because I love Android. I would choose Android over Apple any day. But in any case, so I guess their kind of thing works with a certain thing of Android, a certain version of Android. So I'm constantly having problems. I don't know if it's really fitting to my version of Android. I have to really look at it. But yeah, I just been having problems with it. Like, sometimes the movie the movies are available to where I can see them early in the day, but then close to the night when I'm like, cause I usually go to like the last show. That's usually my comfort zone. I usually go to the last showing of a movie at that last 9:50 or 10:30 type show. I go to that. Those are like my times for going to the show. And like around those times when I'm thinking like, okay, let me go, and I go to look at it, I don't leave the house before checking it. But even when I do that, it's like there's no showing right here, and try again later. Those are the only problems that I've been having with it lately. Is that I've been having so many problems with that. If I go see a show or try to go see a show, it's like I can't even go in, and that goes for like the partner theaters. If I was to go to a AMC or go to not even the AMC because they're not a partner theater, but a Studio Movie Grill or a Goodrich, those are partner theaters with e-ticketing. I have no showings on there, and then sometimes it's like I can't even like go into it to see if there's any showtimes or whatever. I'm steady clicking on the theater name and it's not doing anything. So I say that's the only problem that I have with it. So hopefully they can fix that, and that's just kind of one of the problems I'm having. But if they can get that fixed, it'd be awesome. Like I said, I'm all for their new plan and what they have planned for. So, hell. But in any case, that's really all I gotta say about MoviePass. I wasn't gonna try and make this a big thing. I wasn't gonna bitch about it or rant about it like I did before, but I think that they're doing a good thing, and I hope that they stay around for it. So, let's go ahead and get to the next thing. So, the next thing that we're going to go ahead and get into is movie news. And we have several items to get to. Now, one of the things, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is more of the, kind of Marvel thing with James Gunn and how he was basically shit canned. Like, I think it is the weekend of Comic-Con with some old tweets that he put out. And I already kind of gave how I feel about it. I agree with Disney and what they did. I know a lot of people don't, because there was petitions. It were like the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy that came out and said that they don't agree with it, that they want him to get reinstated and all this stuff. And it's okay. But as the days and weeks went on, more stuff has came out. So Batista has been very vocal about it. I mean, the other cast members have been vocal, but it was in a collective kind of note that they put out to the public or whatever. But Batista has put out individual notes. One's just basically saying that he basically put out his distaste with Disney and how they went about doing it, how they fired him and everything else, and that he doesn't want to work for Disney anymore. So after his contract, he's gone. Like, he doesn't want to re-sign and do more movies or anything like that. He's gone. And so he's put out another statement lately basically saying that if they don't use James Gunn's script for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, then he's going to try to get out of his contract. And it's like, man, I want to say that his thing is, in a sense, kind of like the Tyrese situation with the Fast and the Furious franchise. How they said that they were going to push back the Fast and Furious franchise because they wanted to work on The Rock and, Jason Statham's, not collab movie, but their movie with Deckard Shaw and, Hobbs. Their little spin-off of Fast and Furious. And that was going to postpone it being made sooner. And so Tyrese said a big thing about it. You guys already know. And basically said that, like, if, The Rock, just basically he just threatening the company, saying that he's not going to come back and blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of like the same stuff. Not too much like it because, Batista as Drax plays much of a bigger role than Tyrese and his stuff. But in a sense, they're still side characters. If it was Vin Diesel or The Rock or, Michelle Rodriguez, probably not. But if it was one of those, then they probably would try to renegotiate. If it was like Chris Pratt or, just somebody like that, then they'll probably try to renegotiate. But Drax is a side character, He's not a character that somebody, when they think of Guardians of the Galaxy, they automatically think of Drax. No, they're going to think of Star-Lord. They're going to probably think of one or two more characters than Drax. Now, he does play a bigger role in it, like I said, as compared to Tyrese's character in the Fast and Furious franchise. But they can do without him. In the comic books, Guardians of the Galaxy, through throughout the years, there have been several other characters that they literally can bring on to replace him. They don't need him. And he forgets that, he does play like a big part in the Guardians and stuff. But like I said, he's also a side character, but they're literally, I think, about to go back into reshoots for Avengers 4. And spoiler alert for Avengers Infinity War, he was one of the people that got dusted. All they got to do is basically have it to where he's not going to come back because we've already know from the from basically reports and stuff, that the statements that's been coming out is that not everybody is going to come back. A lot of the people that are dead in the Infinity War are going to stay dead. They're not coming back. We don't know who, or who's coming back. We already know Black Panther and Spider-Man is going to come back. But as far as everybody else, we don't know. Probably a lot of the Guardians or whatever, but they can always alter that. They can always make it to where Drax doesn't come back. It's easy. It's like, I give it to him. He's like sticking to his guns. He's, no pun intended, but he's sticking to his guns. And he's basically fighting for someone that he cares deeply for. Someone that he more than likely considers as a friend. A person that he worked with for years. And he wants to continue working with this person. He has a lot of respect for him. And I get that, With the stuff surrounding about James Gunn, it's like, yeah, I understand it. Shit, fight for what you fight for. But at the same time, threatening to leave because they're not using the script. That's not James Gunn's movie. I just want to just put it out there. I mean, he had a lot to do with it. He was the reason why it is as big as it is. He has a lot to do with it. But when it comes down to it, James Gunn is easily replaced. Drax is easily replaced. Certain characters and certain people are easily replaced. You literally can get a director straight out of film school that hasn't directed any major film, maybe some little projects, and probably take it over and do just as good as a job as James Gunn. So it's like, I get where he's coming from, and I'm not going against him. Like, stick to what stick to your guns, but at the same time, realize where you at as far as that go, because he's real big in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as far as Drax. But outside of that, what big movies do we know that he's a part of? I mean, yeah, he plays supporting characters in movies, and even the movies that he's lead in are straight to VOD. Now, he might end up getting bigger. He might get a role next year or, sometime soon that puts him, in a good position to where he can go from there and become a bigger star and a better actor and stuff like that, because he's damn good. He's good. He can always get better, but he is good. But he's good as a supporting role. I just seen Hotel Artemis today. He was good up in there. Really good. But as far as where he's at, as far as importance, they can do away with him. They can easily just write him out. But like, okay, you want out your contract? Bam. I mean, I think at that point, they still would have to pay him. Or I don't think they would have to pay him. And even then, they don't even have to get him out his contract. They can just literally, but like, okay, you don't want to be up in here? We're not going to call you back. You're dead. Your contract is going to go to Guardians 3. Do it without him. Because that's what they did with Hugo Weaving. I don't know if they got him out his contract, but I think they still had him on to where if they needed him to come back or whatever. Avengers Infinity War came in. Red Skull's up in there, but Hugo Weaving didn't play him. So it's like, yeah, your contract probably goes until Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but they can do that with or without you. It's not a sweat to them. They're probably looking at this and laughing, like, oh, okay, yeah, you want to leave? Okay, shit, go. And as far as them using his script, they said that they might use it or they might not. Whether they do or don't, it really don't matter. I mean, my stance on it is still the same with James Gunn. So we're getting back into James Gunn. My whole stance with it is still the same. I feel like they was in the right for firing him, because had it been me in the position and I saw it, then I probably would have fired him too, because it's not all about like, oh, how old these tweets is and stuff like that. And I get a lot of people are going to be against me, but at the same time, you got to think about your company. Somebody make jokes about child abuse and stuff like that. No matter how dark it is, it's just certain things you don't do. And these were to come public, what can you do? You're backed up against the wall. But reports and just, have came out, and just people just speculate, or just say, like, people have speculated that Disney knew about these tweets. They knew about them. And the only reason they got rid of him was because it became public. Now, I'm not changing my stance, but around this situation, yeah, Disney was in the wrong. If they knew, and because it came public, they got rid of him, that says a lot. So, yeah, that's just my stance. I'm not backtracking. I'm not, flip-flopping or anything. But around the circumstances, let's say, if they didn't know, by some chance that they didn't know about the his tweets, and they found out about it when it got leaked, and they fired him because of that, then okay, I totally agree. But more than likely, what the case is that they knew about it, and because just to save their company, save their asses, and make it seem like they didn't know, they fired him and made it seem like they didn't know. Then I don't agree with them. I don't. It's all about the situation. I don't agree with them if that's the case, which more than likely, more weeks go by, it looks more and more like that's the case. But, I mean, it's like, if that is the case, they should try and find a way to work out a deal to where they can't bring him back. And I heard some people put out the thing that maybe they do bring him back, but he's not the director. That he's probably his name is just gonna probably be on the story, or he's probably gonna work behind the scenes. And I heard that like he was in the midst of having a bigger role within the Marvel Cinematic Universe beyond the director. But I say maybe keep him in the background if you reassign him. Maybe if you bring him back on, if he doesn't, direct the next Guardians, this and that. But if that's the case, if they knew, I say reinstate him, bring him back. To me, I don't care whether they bring him back or not. If they do, awesome. Then we're going to get to see his vision brought to fruition for what he had for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Hopefully it's really good. But if they don't, then they're in their rights. Whether they were right or wrong for firing him, they're in their rights for scrapping his script or using it. I mean, if they don't want anything to do with him because of this, then scrap the script and start from over. Well, start over, do whatever. But I know that they're probably kind of reconsidering, like bringing him back, because basically all these major studios want James Gunn. This is Disney mess. Disney has put themselves in this, from firing him, whether or not, they knew about the tweets, but they still got rid of him. Maybe they could have not got rid of him. Maybe they probably could have, done something. I don't know. Maybe just something different before jumping the gun and just firing him. Especially with Kevin Feige finding out like the rest of us on social media. I don't think that's the good way to go about it. But in any case, all these other studios, Warner Brothers, that house DC, are looking at James Gunn and just waiting for the chance that they can go after him, because he still has a yes, what is it? I think he got fired, but he still has a contract with Disney. Yes, that's what it is. He's fired, but he still has a contract with Disney. So he's still going to get paid for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Or, until, because I think that's what his contract is going to. So his contract is going to go into, but they still have to pay him. They still have to pay him. They still have to honor that. And as long as he still has that contract with them, no other companies can try to bring him along, can't make him an offer or anything. But other companies have, including Warner Brothers, have basically put out publicly that they're eyeing James Gunn. That as soon as if Disney lets him out of his contract or once his contract over, they're grabbing him up. They're going to offer him a lot of money. So that probably could be one of the things that's really pushing them to maybe even think about reinstating James Gunn. But like I said, if they didn't know, keep them fired. Stick to your guns. Do whatever. Unless you want to bring him back because of whatever. But if they fired him, if you really did fire him because it came public but you already knew, then bring him back. Bring him back. Have him have a big apology publicly, video, whatever, and just go back to what y'all do. Just do that. It's a crazy situation, but I mean, it is what it is. So I'm looking forward to see how this all pan out. But it's just crazy. It's really crazy. But I do stick to my guns. The circumstances changes my mind, but overall, I mean, what can you do? Anyway, let's go on to the other one because I talked a lot about that one as well as MoviePass. But let's go ahead and jump up to the next one. So, Sony, as far as the Marvel characters that they own, which I was surprised that they said is 900 characters that they own, which is surprisingly nuts. I mean, I could believe maybe 100 and something, but 900? I don't know. Maybe I'm off. That's what I read. I don't know. But so out of all the Marvel characters that they own, by a statement that they put out recently, it basically makes it seem like they're going to be trying to do their own little cinematic universe that's separate from the MCU. Now, I've heard other reports kind of clashing. One saying that they're desperately trying to get, Venom inside the MCU and work with that. But then other reports from the statement that they put out recently is basically saying that it seemed like they might end up having their own thing because they already said that they're trying to have their own stuff with, I think it was Black Cat, Silver something, whatever. The other characters. You got Venom, and then we're going to have other Spider-Man related characters have their own films and stuff like that. And after Spider-Man Far From Home, the Spider-Man contract that they have, that Sony and Marvel have, is going to end. So more than likely after that, they're going to start their own little thing or whatever. And Venom is the first movie within that universe. And so, I mean, as far as that, I think that I guess you could say I don't care either way. If they, have it part of the MCU, the more the merrier. If they don't, it's whatever, At least they're going to try to do something. But this next thing is that they basically are reaching so far that it's just laughable. So they've came up with their own kind of cinematic universe title, kind of like the MCU or with DC and the, dumb, I mean, before it was DCEU, but that was something that a fan had coined. But but now they have the Worlds of DC, and now Sony has their own universe name for their Marvel characters. So there came out in this the S.U.M.C, which stands for Sony's Universe of Marvel Characters. I kid you not, I laughed when I read that. I laughed because I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I noticed that they were trying to maybe do something separate because another guy had pointed out that I follow, even before I watched this video, I noticed it in the latest Venom trailer. usually it would just say Marvel, you know. But now in this one, it says in association with Marvel. And I don't know, like to me, it just literally stood out when I first saw it. I'm like, that's different. I've never seen them put that before. Usually X-Men, you know, Fox would have it before their, you know, Marvel character movies and even Sony or whatever. But this is the first film that I've seen that's not a Marvel Studios brand MCU film that had in association with Marvel. So I thought that was kind of weird. But I don't know, like this whole thing. Why come up with I don't know, maybe do something different. You know, Fox, even though that they're you know, selling all that stuff to Disney, they didn't have try and make a name for their universe. It was just Marvel films. You don't have to do that. I don't know, like it's just, to me, that S.U.M.C, I don't know, maybe it'll grow on me after a while, like the DCEU, because I thought that was just such a stupid name, but it, you know, it grew on all of us. Even some people still hate it and just call it the DCU. I don't know. It's just, I don't know, like, I don't know. They just need to just know, because it seems like they got their taste, and now they want to do it. It's kind of like a person that's being taught, and that's simply because what they did with Spider-Man before, they made a lot of money, but they crashed twice. And it was like Marvel had to put them on the right track to where everybody loves this new Spider-Man. So Marvel know what they're doing. So Marvel is the chef, the master chef. And they're teaching Sony, who still needs to learn how to cook, teach them how to cook. They got a taste of it. People liking their food and this and that. Like, oh shit, you know, I want to keep making this. And then like after a while, like once, you know, you got the taste of it, it's like, I think I could do this on my own. And then after Far From Home, like, I'm about to go do this on my own. We don't need you anymore. Thanks for the help, but I'm about to do this on my own. That's seeing what Marvel is doing. And they don't really have the fundamentals on how to really prepare a big feast. Now, I may be eating my words and say Sony might end up knocking out the park with Venom. That probably might be one of the best superhero movies, maybe in the top 5 or at least top 10, you know, superhero movies ever. And I'm just, you know, but it's like, I don't know, like, it really just, it seemed like they're really reaching. It came up with a name, it just sounds stupid as all hell. And they're trying to do their own cinematic universe without actually really seeing what Venom is going to do. That's kind of like putting the cart before the horse. What, I think it was Fox, maybe it's the wrong studio. Yeah, I think it was Fox that brought out the Power Rangers last year. They're saying that they have 7 movies lined up after this Power Rangers movie, and this statement came out before the Power Rangers movie came out. So it was like, you know, you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself, getting a little big headed. You know, you did some good things, but you worked with somebody. Now you're trying to do all this stuff. It's like, let's see how Venom is. If Venom is great, work on the next movie. If that movie is great, then maybe you can start talking about a cinematic universe. Maybe you could talk about doing something that Sony is doing. But Venom hasn't even came out, and you're already talking about a cinematic universe. Like, just bag up. Just bag up. Bag up a little bit. You know, just put something out there. Get people invested. Get people on board with what you're doing. The Venom trailers, the last one looked awesome. I'm definitely gonna go see it, even before the trailers. You know, even before the first trailer, I definitely was gonna go see this movie. But that's not saying a whole lot. The movie could be trash. The movie could be dog shit. You know. So I mean, it's like, find out what you're trying to do and then go for that. You know, baby steps. Marvel did baby steps. Everybody tries to be Marvel. Everybody trying to get to what Marvel is. Everybody trying to have that Avengers Infinity War, that first Avengers movie. And you haven't even gotten the Iron Man movie. You know? It's like, no, just start off slow. And if they are starting up their own universe, and maybe after Far From Home, Spider-Man is going to be revamped. Or I don't know how he is, but you know, maybe say he get revamped. Maybe, you know, I don't know. It's just ridiculous that S.U.M.C. I don't know. But I think if they do, it probably be a better. I think it was kind of like a good decision to start off with a villain solo film, maybe. I don't know. But it was something different. Just something different. But, I mean, it's a stupid name. But it's whatever. What else do they have to work with? So, let's go ahead and jump up to the other movie topic, which is the Worlds of DC. Oh, my God. Such a stupid name. So, the Worlds of DC are coming out with their Supergirl version. Now, for a lot of those who've seen the DC movies, or as I like to say, I'm going to coin this. This is mine. Since they have the Worlds of DC, and that's what they're going to call the whole universes and stuff, whatever the hell. The BVS universe, which is everything involving all the movies that are already currently out. I guess including Aquaman and Shazam and Wonder Woman. That whole connective tissue of movies. So with that, they are, I guess, maybe adding Supergirl to it. Because if you guys have seen Man of Steel, I don't know if you guys had known, but basically the scene where Clark finds the Kryptonian ship on Earth and goes into it, you see two pods. You see a pod that has a dead body up in there, and then you see another pod that's open, but it's empty. So a prequel comic had came out and basically stated that that was Supergirl in that, pod. She left the ship. I guess she had some type of conflict or whatever in the comic book for all those years, and Supergirl does exist in the BVSU. She does exist, and they're more than likely going to play off of that. And to me, I have a lot to say about it. I'm going to basically maybe put out another podcast, maybe tomorrow, this coming week, within the next couple of days, and just talk about my frustration with the Worlds of DC and all that stupid stuff. But to me right now, it just seems like they're doing the same thing over again. I get like I'm interested in seeing a Supergirl movie. I'm interested, but we still don't have a Superman movie. Well, a Superman movie, a second Man of Steel. We still don't have a Batman movie that's a part of the BVSU. We don't have certain other people moving. Now, taking into consideration, we do have Aquaman coming out this year, Shazam, and we have Wonder Woman 2, all those. But where's the Flash movie? We hear about that every so often, but then it goes nowhere. Oh, it's going to be Flashpoint. Oh, it's going to have this person on it. It's not. It's going to have this person. It's going to do this. It's just like, okay, well, where are the other people? We're 5 movies in and we don't have a Batman movie that's a part of the BVSU. We really don't. And it's just, it's frustrating. It really is. So, let them just constantly just throw shit at the wall. Just let them throw shit at the wall. I call it the wall of DC. Not the worlds of DC, the walls of DC. Because that's basically what they're doing. They're throwing shit to the wall and seeing what sticks. And that's basically what it is. And it's like, I want them to succeed, but, make sense. Make sense. If they come out with one Supergirl movie and it end up being good, then okay, cool. But, shit. Man of Steel, Batman, those are your 2 big names. And you need to redeem yourself. Make a Batman movie that everybody loves. What if it's with Ben Affleck? Awesome. If it's without, then shit, get a good actor and make a good one. Henry Cavill is a great Superman. Have people look at him as like, yes, this is Superman now. Especially them hardcore DC fans. Like, it's just, all this is just kind of like retarded. But I mean, if it happens, I'll go see it. They already got a screenwriter on it. And, it's whatever. But, I mean, this is not saying that it's in development. Because a lot of movies can have a director attached to it. Can have writers to it. It can have, like, 15,000 scripts written for it. But it never comes to fruition. So, this is just another thing that they like, we want, to make this. But, it may or may not happen. But you'll see. and then it doesn't get made, but whatever. And the fourth thing in the movie news is basically Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man Far From Home. The next, the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, which is coming out next year, I think. I think so. I'm not sure. Anyway, so it said that we know of 2 more people that are going to become undusted, that are going to appear in there. And the article said 2 Avengers and liars. But anyway, so 2 people are going to be coming back, and they're going to be in Spider-Man Far From Home, which I'm very curious to see. Very curious to see. So the 2 characters are Maria Hill and also Nick Fury. And I mean, I have no problem with it. I don't know if by them basically it's not saying that Robert Downey Jr. is going to return. So more than likely he is going to die in Avengers 4. Don't know. Everybody had the prediction that him and Cap was going to die, or him or Cap was going to die up in Avengers Infinity War, but I mean, more than likely he might die in Avengers 4. So if he does, then the next best things are, freaking Maria Hill and Samuel L. Jackson taking over as like the people that's in charge of him. So I wouldn't have no problem with that. Like, to me, like that just sounds really cool. It really does. Especially after the wake of Avengers 4, which I want to see what the hell really what that's involved in. Which we do have some implements of what elements go into Avengers 4, but I want to see how it all pans out. So, in any case. But that's really all I got to say about that one. So, let's go ahead and jump right into the box office, because I think this is going to be an hour show, which I haven't done in a long ass time. But, in any case, let's go ahead and jump into the box office segment. And so, how I like to do these, if you haven't listened to this podcast before, I basically do it in these type of way. I talk about my predictions from last week, and I talk about the box office this past weekend, as well as I talk about the movies that are coming out and my predictions for this coming weekend. Since it is the weekend, I'm talking about the movies that I feel like by tomorrow are going to top the box office. Now, I haven't really been paying attention as far as like the money that any of these like recent movies that have been brought in, which I think it was Slender Man, Black Klansman, The Meg, and I think it was one other movie that came out. I think it was The Darkest Minds that came out too. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, so it's just basically me just talking about just get my predictions of the movies that's gonna come out. Anyway, so my last week's predictions were that Christopher Robin was gonna be at number 1. The Spy Who Dumped Me was going to be at number 2. The Darkest Minds at number 3. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. And Equalizer 2 is going to be at number 5. And the thing I should slap myself really hard with this thing is that I didn't notice it until I was making all the notes for this podcast. But, yeah, I left out Mission Impossible. So yeah, that was like really stupid on my end. So I left out Mission Impossible. So this list, whether or not I had everything else right, or majority of the movies, like 4 out of whatever the movies right in the same order, I still was gonna be wrong because I left out Mission Impossible. I don't know how I forgot about it, but yeah. So looking at it, taking the number 1 at the box office is Mission Impossible Fallout, doing over the weekend $35 million, domestically $124 million, and worldwide $329 million. Disney's Christopher Robin over the weekend took in $25 million, both over the weekend and domestically, and worldwide $30 million. Then The Spy Who Dumped Me over the weekend did $12.3 million. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, over the weekend did $9 million, domestically $91 million, and worldwide $230 million. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, but anyway, The Equalizer 2 over the weekend did $8 million, domestically $79.8 million, and worldwide $87.5 million. And that rounds out the top 5. But also I'm gonna add to it The Darkest Minds over the weekend had did basically 5.8 million and worldwide 9.8 million. Um, man, it's crazy. So yeah, I was wrong. But in any case, I still was kind of right on some of them, but I was just. But yeah, so the things that stood out to me was that I thought The Darkest Minds was gonna be at number 3. Thought it was gonna be in the top 5, and it wasn't even in the top 5. It wasn't even in the top 5. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen any of the movies that came out this weekend. I really haven't. What matter of fact, they don't have to do it this weekend. But anyway, I haven't seen The Darkest Minds yet, but it did bad. Coming in number 8, like that's I don't know. Maybe it's not that good. I don't know. I mean, that's one thing that surprised me. I knew that, had I put Mission Impossible up there, I probably was going to say that was going to be a number 1. But Christopher Robin is not that far behind with 10 million less. And that's the number 2. The rest of them are basically just, what you would think. It would be basically just in that type of order. The ones that surprised me were, just the one that surprised me was The Darkest Mind, because I thought that was going to be in the top 5, but honestly, shit, I guess not. I mean, hell, that's the one that surprised me. So I'm curious to see it. So hopefully I get to see it within the next few days, and I will be able to be like, yeah, I can see why I failed. I can see why I bombed, with this and that. But in any case, let's go ahead and move out to what's coming this week, or what came out this weekend. So over the weekend we had Dog Days, which is about relationships people have with their dogs and other people. It's not one of those type of movies, yeah. But I don't know. It's just love for dogs and love for people and their connection with each other through their dogs. I don't know, but it's a movie that I really don't care to see. Black Klansman, a black guy who infiltrates the Ku Klux Klan in order to bring down the person, and that sounds interesting. It's directed and I believe written by Spike Lee, and I've been hearing good things about it. So I mean, that's really worth checking out. I was gonna check it out anyway. The Meg, of course, Jason Statham doing karate moves on a big old humongous shark, and Slender Man. The creepypasta turned into a full-length feature film. So out of those movies, which one it would be the priority? I would say I would have 3 priorities. Dog Days is nothing that's on my list for checking out in the least bit. So between Black Klansman, The Meg, and Slender Man, I would say The Meg maybe would be number 1. Slender Man, and then The Black Klansman. And I say those orders because I really haven't heard too much, stuff about, The Meg or, Slender Man, or too many good things about The Meg and Slender Man. And Black Klansman is like all the rave. But it's just, at times you're in the mood for certain movies, Sometimes you're in the mood for a comedy. Sometimes you're in the mood for action. Sometimes you're in the mood for drama, horror, or something like that. Right now I'm in the mood to see Jason Statham hopefully do some karate moves on a big shark. Slender Man, I'm a big fan of horror. Hopefully I get some enjoyment out of it like I did with Truth or Dare. Even if it's horrible, hopefully I get some type of entertainment out of it. And Black Klansman, it just seemed like a movie that I probably might like over both of them, but I'm kind of in the mood for The Meg or Slender Man before The Black Klansman. So basically this weekend, what do I think is going to survive? I think that Mission Impossible and Christopher Robin are still going to stay at number 1 and number 2. Mission Impossible being number 1. Just because, I don't know, they're both good movies. The Meg, I don't know. I don't think that that's going to do that well. I mean, from just what I heard and just my thoughts on it before, I don't think that Jason Statham really belongs in a movie like this. And from what I hear, it does stand out a lot. So I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people that's going to be really want to see this that aren't like really critical of movies. But in any case, you know, I don't think it's going to do that well. Slender Man, from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be another Bye Bye Man movie. It looks good from the trailer, or at least decent. But when you see the actual film, it's like, it's laughable, you know. Like I said, I hopefully I get some entertainment out of it. And then I think rounding out the top 5 is going to be A Spy Who Dumped Me, which I did see. It was okay. It was okay. So yeah, that rounds up the top 5. So Mission Impossible Fallout, number 1. Disney's Christopher Robin, number 2. The Maid, number 3. Slender Man, number 4. And The Spy Who Dumped Me at number 5. And that rounds off my predictions for this weekend. We will find out in the next couple days of what happened. So yeah, and with that said, that wraps up this hour-long episode of the Take One Podcast, episode 81. God damn, I am almost there at 100. That is crazy. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. And I will catch you guys until the next one. Peace out. Hey, before you guys leave, make sure you hit that like button as well as that subscribe button. And you see that little bell? Make sure you hit that to turn on your notifications. That way you'll be notified for anything that appears on my channel. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.